And we're live on LinkedIn. This is the Bright Business Talk Show with your host, Jim Miller, where we have purpose driven conversations about business and life. And today's special guest is Suzanne Pantoja, right? Did I say that right?
You did, yes. Thank you,
All
Jim.
right, cool. Let me see if I can get us all up here on the same page. There we go. Suzanne, welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is fun. Suzanne's been a member of the Bright Business Club for. She's one of the founding members, and she's very exciting to have her on here and have a chat. Let me give you a little bit of a background on Suzanne. She is a dynamic, passionate HR leader and subject matter expert. I'd like to know what that means. We'll get into that in a little bit. Sure, you're certified PHR. What does that mean?
Ah, that's
PHR.
that's a professional in human resources. In
Okay.
the HR world, there's different levels of certifications you can get. You take a
Okay.
test, get a certification. So that's one of them.
So you're the knowledge expert in HR.
Yeah.
You've got a master's in management with organizational leadership and a bachelor's in business administration with specialization in HR management professional. You're a professional with 26 years of experience. Wow.
Hmm.
And you've been supporting organizations pertaining to all aspects of their human resources needs, specializing in strategic human resource requirements that impact the entire organization and workforce, encompassing challenging business objectives. Say that 10 times fast.
I know, right?
So here's what's cool. As an HR consultant, Suzanne says, my goal is to partner with organizations on their human resource obligations, providing valuable support that comes from a strategic perspective on foundational HR initiatives. What does that really mean?
I know, right? All that wording, you're like, just give it to me in English. What
This
is
is
that?
this is corporate speak. So what is
Oh,
this? What does all this mean? What do you really do?
I come in and say, hey, how's business? And what are your challenges? And then let's work together because there's always something that keeps the owner up at night. And it's going to be their people related. So I'm not the one that you would just say, hey, what's minimum wage? Although I would answer that. But I would
Mhm.
want to say, like, hey, are you asking because you're looking to hire someone? Someone's asking for an increase, or you think you saw something in the news that it increased. So let's talk about it. That's me. That strategy piece is like, hey, let's talk about more of what your overall picture is as a business, and then how the puzzle fits together with your people and how labor
Okay.
laws say we have to do things.
So who's your favorite type? What's your favorite type of company to work with? Where do you get the most traction?
I mean, my favorite type of company is the one that's like, hey, I need your help.
Well, yeah. Who are they? Who are those companies?
They're
Where are they at
typically
in their cycle?
Well, they're typically ones that don't have any support. So, or maybe they have somebody who's like doing office work, but they're not at that higher level to understand how to do things the right way.
Mm,
Um, I don't, and sometimes I find clients because they got into trouble and now they need help. How do you change and do things differently moving forward?
yeah, HR is one
Um,
of those things that you're like, yeah, I
um,
get it, yeah, but I just don't want
yeah.
to deal with it. It's like painful. So, and
Well,
you,
and I try to not be that painful one. Cause look, if I'm part of the if I'm a partner, and hopefully I'm not the one you just go to when you're in trouble or something went bad. Like I'm hoping I'm the one that, hey, I have some great news. We got this new project and that means we can now expand a new department. All right, that's strategy. Let's talk about that. And when are we looking at doing that? Um, so, yeah, HR is not the police. I'm just saying, because
well, yeah, that's what you
you're
kind of think about,
hoping
right? There's like
there's
there's
good
the fun
stuff
part
that
when
you
you're
can.
hiring people, and then
Yeah,
there's this really not fun part when
I
you got to
know.
let people go. And in both of those phases, I'm thinking there's things that people, business owners, and organizations would benefit knowing about with your experience, your 26 years of. and master's degree and just a
Mhm.
wide array of experience. Plus, you're a teacher. You teach at the you've done 10 years of at the college level teaching
Mhm.
business and HR courses to undergraduates.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's huge. Having somebody of your caliber working with me, if in my business, I'd be like, wow, that's comforting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that trusted partner. You can say, "Hey, I have this going on. I'm not sure if I should do anything with this. This employee said this, what should I do with this? Maybe it's
Mhm.
nothing, but that's that, hey, I have to just bounce something off of you. What do you think about this?" Because there's too many times where business owners go, "Gosh, oh yeah, we saw that, but we just kind of said it's no big deal. No, it's okay." And then they're like, "Oh, now it's big. Now it's a big mess." So my hope is to be there at before it becomes a big mess, along the way, and then yeah, we got to change some things after. But with teaching, it's so cool because it'll be college students that they're either going for their undergrad, or maybe this is an elective class in HR, business. Um, I once taught a sociology class where it was about ethics and how our society like overlaps into the workplace and how we deal with things that happen in our society, and how people bring certain things that they're going through in the workplace. um, that was a really interesting class. But with students, what I like is being able to talk through, like, here you have a book. Yeah, that's great. Everybody can read the book, but how do you apply that to your job or to the job you want to have, or, to people? Because a lot of HR is really understanding and like looking at the people side, like reading through situations, hearing I didn't hear the answer to this, so let me explore that a little bit more. And with students, there's projects, that I'll have them do typically, because that way they're working collaboratively. There's a collaborative effort with other people. And they learn, the concepts in the book about, how to collaborate using a mind map, and how we use a SWOT analysis. What is all this stuff, right? So yeah, those are lots of tools that people are learning, and the students they range from ages. Let's say that's their end of their degree program and they're getting ready to enter into the workforce, or they've already been in the workforce and now they just want to fine tune their skills and take some additional coursework. And some that totally change direction and say, okay, I was doing, say, nursing for a long time and now I'm going into business. Okay. So I like that part, to be able to kind of set that foundation. And when students ask good questions, that means there's a good discussion that we can talk about and have an illustration, and see what that actually looks like in the real world perspective.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're actually you're because of your industry experience and being a teacher, you're not just teaching theory. You're able to go in and really be hands on and say, okay, this is what you're going to see when you get out of here in the next
Hmm.
few months or year, whatever it is. This
Yeah.
is real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
So,
goal. That's the
yeah,
goal.
that's,
Sometimes
not
I'll take one of my
every teacher can
classes.
say that. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of teachers, they've been tenured for ever, and they don't really have a real grasp on what's going on today, and
Yeah.
you end up catching up sometimes. But what do
Yeah.
you
But
see?
I
Go
think
ahead.
it aligns with like consulting too. Like, I love being able to teach my clients something so they go, oh, every time I talk to you, I learned something. Like, I didn't know if somebody goes on a leave, what I'm supposed to, oh, now you know. Like, there's a process.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Speaking of that, I was curious to see, based on your experience working with people, business owners, what's
Uh-huh.
your um, like? How much does a business owner typically understand about the benefits or what you bring to the table versus what is real? Like if you were to put a number on it, say from 1 to 100, 100 being you like you know everything, and then the normal business owner, where would they fit on that spectrum?
Well, first thing, I don't know everything, and I'll tell someone that's a good question.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good question. Let me look into it, and I'll get back to you. Yeah, never. But I will say, if the business owner already has the need, really, you need human resources help with when you have one or 1,000 employees, right? You always need HR. But sometimes the smaller businesses don't realize that's HR. Human resources is a lot more than just, payroll and benefits. Like you just process, right? No, there's a huge spectrum of what that encompasses. And a lot of that is then educating. So educating the business owner. And I think depending if it's a business that has 20 or, between 20 and 50 employees, they have a pretty good understanding that they need human resources. And yes, there is valuable reasoning to have that support. Like just, someone that I can talk to and say, I need that help. Hey, can you help me through these conversations, those hard conversations with employees? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's where I come in. And so I think the businesses that have been around longer understand they need that help. They just don't have the bandwidth. So sometimes it's just that delegate piece, delegate those tasks. And okay, it's not just payroll, but I also need to make sure compliance, but training and, how do I grow the business with people? So I don't know if I would give it even a number, because I would say, if it was a 1 through 10, and then it was an employer that was under 10 employees, mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say there's not as much of an appreciation of the value that HR brings. Sure. But if it's 20 or more, they're like, okay, I know there's stuff I should be doing and I need help.
Yeah. So what are the, I don't know, what are the top things that people get caught at when they've got less than 20 employees and they're kind of in this, sounds like there's kind of in this ignorance stage?
Yeah.